In a few days, it will be the Dragon Boat Festival. My roommate and I are going back to my hometown. It takes several hours by high-speed train to get there, and Piggy will have to stay home for a few days. So today, come home with us. Hi, I'm Momo. The Dragon Boat Festival is only a few days away. Since I still have work, most of the preparation has to be done on the day I leave. I even took the afternoon off today, so I could get everything ready before heading home. Every time I go home, I tell myself, I'll only be there for a few days. But once I start packing, I realize there are so many things I want to bring.
哦，我撞到了。装包。
衣服就已经买了，所有的衣服就已经买。
你猜一下这个是什么？
鞋子。
对。
还有干净啊，还有
我的好了，你有东西需要帮我做吗？
不用。
都不用啊。
对。
那我要关上啦。外卖到了耶，你拿一下。
好。
到啦。
More than my luggage. The thing I worry about most is Piggy. She loves drinking water, so there are water bowls all over the apartment.
要冲一下。他一个人6、7个水杯和碗，这个给他装猫粮的。
这是装猫粮。
以防万一那个自动喂食器它没有出来，我给他备一些备用，其他都是他的水杯。
2 on the dining table, 3 on the living room floor. One of them even has warm water. And another one in the bedroom. That way, she can drink water wherever she goes.
好，要擦干那个猫粮的。我的杯子全部都被猪猪用了。 水壶里应该还有水吧？热的也没事，烫的它不会去好了。
Before leaving, I wash all of her bowls, check the automatic feeder, and make sure the camera is working. We'll only be gone for a few days. But every time I travel, I still end up checking everything again and again.
OK， 可以了。
Piggy doesn't seem to have the same concern. While I'm busy getting ready, she's focused on grooming herself. As if today is no different from any other day. Sometimes I think cats are really good at living in the moment. They don't worry about tomorrow, and they don't stress about the future.
社长吃饭了。
By the time everything was done, it was already lunchtime.
怎么是这个颜色？我用这个，反正也一半。那我也吃不完。
My roommate and I don't order takeout very often. Cooking at home is usually much cheaper. But today was a special case. There was still a lot to do before leaving, so we decided to be a little lazy.
晚上就在家里了。中午还在浙江。
We ordered stir-fried green beans with pork and one bowl of rice. Including delivery, it cost less than $6, and we shared it together. After lunch, I noticed the bananas at home were fully ripe. If I left them there, they would probably be spoiled by the time we came back. So I put them straight into the freezer. A few days later, they will turn into my favorite summer snack: frozen banana ice cream. I make it every summer.
宝宝，我们要走啦，拜拜。
Eventually, it was time to leave.
拜拜，猪猪，
拜拜，宝宝。
在家里要照顾好自己哦。
Before walking out the door, I looked back at Piggy one more time. She was exactly the same as always, quietly relaxing at home. After we went downstairs, my roommate took out the trash, and I called a car to the train station. Our holiday had officially begun.
天气好好。
The weather was beautiful today. Blue skies, white clouds, and a nice breeze. Days like this always put me in a good mood.
放不下了。
可以放这样子吧。
好。
这样。
嗯。
是电动的吗？
两车道。
Another nice video, Momo. I hope to vacation there someday.
On the way to the station, I spent some time replying to comments from my last video. Even now, I still think it's amazing. Some people are watching from the United States, some from Germany, and some from Australia. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in a small city in China, getting ready to return to a small village in the south. Sometimes the world feels very big and very small at the same time. Before long, we arrived at the train station. To save time, we ordered our milk tea through the app before arriving.
你好，60630，这个吗？
That way, we could pick it up right away. During holiday season, the station is always busy, so skipping one line is always worth it. After picking up our drinks, we headed to the waiting hall. There was still some time before boarding. I always enjoy watching people at train stations, especially before a holiday.
您站稳扶好，紧握扶手，注意脚下安全，不要看手机。
There were parents taking their children home, students heading back for the break, and people like us, piling suitcases and heading somewhere. Everyone was going somewhere different. And today, I was going home. I saw a father waiting with his two daughters. For some reason, Those little moments always catch my attention. Maybe because it's almost a holiday, they remind me of my own family. Boarding started soon after. We joined the line and slowly made our way to the platform. While we were waiting, I hung my milk tea on my roommate's suitcase. It instantly felt much lighter. Otherwise, I would have been carrying it the whole time. The handles had already left marks on my arm.
不会痛。
2岁的牙都不会痛。
Once we got on the train, the first thing I did was wipe down the table and armrest. It's something I do every time I take a train. After finally sitting down, I could relax for the first time that day. I'd spent the whole afternoon packing, taking care of Piggy, and getting ready to leave. Only now did it feel like I could take a break. Outside the window, the scenery slowly started moving. Buildings, roads, trees, then faster and faster. Before long, the train was traveling at over 200 kilometers per hour. We passed through tunnels, then open countryside. Then another station. The scenery kept changing. The train itself was surprisingly quiet. Some people were sleeping. Some were listening to music. Not long after, I fell asleep too. Maybe I was tired from work, or maybe I was finally relaxed, knowing I was on my way home. When I opened my eyes again, we were almost there. We packed up our things and waited by the door before arriving.
千万别把门撞开了，今天。
After getting off the train, we followed the crowd out of the station and called another car. The closer we got to home, the more familiar everything started to look. There were fewer tall buildings, more familiar roads, and little landmarks I remembered from before. At some point, I realized I could almost tell how close to home we were, just by looking out the window.
你看哪里好就好。
Some things never really change, and somehow, that's comforting.
这样。
对，
好，可以。
好，谢谢啊。
你等下慢一点。
When the car reached the entrance of our alley, we got out. Home was only a short walk away now. I called my niece and told her we had arrived. A few minutes later, she came to pick us up on her electric scooter.
那你要保护好啊，保护好哦。
Even though it had only been a few months since I last saw her, she somehow looked a little taller. Kids grow so fast.
这趟是接人吗？
A dog barked at us from nearby. 2 chickens wandered along behind us. Scenes like this are completely normal here. But after living in the city, they always feel a little special when I come back. Just 6 hours ago, I was at home washing Piggy's water bowls, replying to comments, and packing my suitcase. And now I was standing in the alley where I grew up. The familiar sounds, the familiar air, the familiar house waiting at the end. After a long day of traveling, I was finally home.